Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Yenny. I know Valentine's Day is over, but I wanted to continue my series on love. So today I wanted to share 5 psychological theories on love that I've compiled together, and I learned a lot while making this video, so I hope you enjoy watching it as well. And let's just get straight into the video. So the first theory that I wanted to share is Sigmund Freud's theory on love. So Freud was an American neurologist, and he's pretty much like the father of psychoanalysis. And what is psychoanalysis? Psychoanalysis is pretty much the clinical method of treating psychopathology through dialogue between a clinician and a patient. Talk therapy, pretty much what I do at work every day. And without Sigmund Freud, I highly doubt that the mental health sphere and field could have come this far. What else? Sigmund Freud was known for a lot of his different theories and clinical techniques used by therapists and clinicians. Techniques such as like free association, talking about transference and counter-transference between a clinician and a patient, the id, ego, superego, everything about like the unconscious. You know, I'm sure in school, whether you're in university, you've taken a psychology course, or if you're in high school and there's like a science course, you've probably seen like the iceberg. I'll pop it right in here. Yeah, you've probably seen this once or twice, and Sigmund Freud was the man who really came up with the emphasis on the unconscious. Oedipus complex, where like the son wants to kill the father and like get married to the mother. And then there's like a flip side of that where like all women want to have male genitalia because we have penis envy. I don't know, he had a lot of different theories. Some were he really hit the nail on the head. Other ones are kind of like, okay, interesting. And his theory on love was pretty much emphasis on the ego ideal. So his idea of the ego ideal is that we fall in love with people whom we deeply respect because they have certain patterns of characteristics that we desire for ourselves. So it's like that emphasis on the unconscious again, where we fall in love with someone because they have something that we want, but we don't realize that because it's in the unconscious. So I found that pretty interesting. The second theory that I want to talk about is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So you probably heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs before in school as well. Here's a visual right here. Abraham Maslow was an American psychologist, and he is pretty much known for his theory named after himself, hierarchy of needs, how people have certain basic needs that must be met, and then they can like level up to the next level of needs and then level up to the next one, you know, and keep leveling up. They can't achieve the higher up things unless their basic needs are met. For example, when I work with my clients, it's hard for us to really address like deeper trauma and depression if they don't have a place to stay at night. You know, like we could talk about their depression, we could talk about their history of trauma and what they're going through mentally, or even the existential crises, if they're like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. But I can't really help them with that unless I can help them gain basic needs, which is food, water, and shelter. And this is something I come across all the time. So in social work, it does really help that we can help our clients obtain their basic needs by helping them apply for housing, working with Section 8, referring them to local food pantries or services like Meals on Wheels to get them food. So once we help them get access to their basic needs, we can move on up to the next level and the next level and the next level. So in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, self-actualization is at the tip, it's at the top of the pyramid. And self-actualization is described as kind of like that existential part of us. Like, what is our purpose? Like, what is my role in the universe, and who am I? What am I supposed to do with my life? And that is self-actualization. And according to Maslow, he pretty much placed love on top of the pyramid with self-actualization. So those who have reached self-actualization are capable of love, of loving others, of understanding love. And I find that so fascinating because can we really understand true love unless we understand who we are and what we want in love, you know? But then again, like, it is fascinating because there are people who don't have their basic needs met who can fall in love, right? Like, there's no way that just because you don't have food, shelter, and water, you can't experience love. I don't know. Theories are not facts. Theories are not concrete. There can be lots of research that supports it, but it's not proven. It's not concrete. That's why it's a theory, not like a definition. So I found that really interesting, gave me a lot to think about. The next theory I wanted to talk about is really interesting. I was like, oh, okay, this is a new way of thinking about psychology and love. The next psychologist, his name is John Allen Lee, and he's a Canadian psychologist, and he associated different types of love with colors. So he's a book published called Colors of Love, and he says that there's 6 types of interpersonal love, 3 primary ones, and he associates them with primary colors, and then 3 secondary ones that he associates with non-primary colors. So let me just read to you what those are, because I haven't memorized them. So Eros, which is red, passionate physical and emotional love based on aesthetic enjoyment, stereotype of romantic love. Ludus, a love that is played as a game or sport, conquest. There's storge, I don't know Greek, I'm totally sorry if I'm butchering these words, but storge is yellow, an affectionate love that slowly develops from friendship based on similarity. Interesting. So those are the 3 primary interpersonal types of love with the primary colors of red, yellow, and blue. And the next ones are the secondary interpersonal loves. First one is pragma, love that is driven by the head, not by the heart. It's practical and non-emotional. There's mania, which is violet. It's highly volatile love, obsession, fueled by low self-esteem, kind of like the obsessive love disorder I talked about last week or the week before. There's agape, which is orange. It's a selfless, altruistic love, spiritual, true love. This one was interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think about this concept of like assigning different interpersonal love types to colors? So there's like a visual to things, which is interesting. And also, do you agree with how like the primary types of love and the secondary types of love were categorized? For me, agape, that's the one that's like selflessness, like altruistic true love, should be a primary, because that's something we all strive to have, right? Whether it is a spiritual love where you have like a god or gods or whatever your spiritual alignments are, or true love where it's not this like unrealistic passion driven love, but it's something that's deeper. So I'd assume it'd be primary, but I don't know, I'm not a psychologist and this is his theory, and it's definitely given me a lot to think about. The next theory I wanted to talk about is based on Dr. Sternberg's triangular theory of love. Dr. Sternberg is a psychologist at Yale University, I believe, or he was at Yale University. Not sure where he is now, but he's an American psychologist. He emphasized his research on the fields of intelligence, creativity, altruism, leadership, ethical reasoning, and love. According to Dr. Sternberg, there's 3 different components of love, and they are, let me try to get it off the top of my head. There's the passion part of love, there is the intimacy part of love, and then there is the commitment part of love. Yes, I got that right. Okay, so the passionate part is the part of love that drives the lead to romance. So there's that physical attraction, that spark. That's like the sexual energy. And according to Dr. Sternberg, it's the quickest part to develop in love, which makes sense. You know, they say it's a spark, which means it's like, oh, like, I like you, I want to kiss you. I don't know, like something like that. The next part of love, according to Dr. Sternberg, is the intimacy part. So intimacy it's after the passion, where it's like you start to feel a sense of closeness, a sense of connection, and kind of bondedness in relationships. I guess for an example of this could be like, if you're online dating, you might have met someone for the first time, and if you click, you might kiss each other that first date. You might want to be like, I really like this person, he's hot, like she's hot. The intimacy part of the relationship could be like, I want to see this person on a second date, on a third date, and you keep texting each other, calling each other, sharing more things about each other, getting to know each other more. And the last part of love would be the commitment part. There's short-term commitment and long-term commitment. So the short-term commitment is kind of like putting a label on it, as society doesn't really like to do anymore, I guess, but it's like to decide that you love each other. Like, I think this is love and I love you, and the other person's like, you know what, you're right, this is love and I love you too. It's like that short-term commitment of, you know, even verbalizing your love together. And then the long-term commitment is one's commitment to maintain that love. Let's start dating, or let's get married. So there's that long-term commitment, and the word commitment can be really triggering to a lot of people. Clearly, I'm married. I have made that long-term commitment to my husband. From what I've read, there were mixed support on this theory of love, because it doesn't really specify the duration of each section. Like, how long is the passion part? How long is the intimate part? I guess the commitment part was kind of talked about, like short-term, long-term commitment, but also the fact that each individual and each couple experience love differently. Like, certain people might go straight from passion to commitment. Who knows? Certain people might just go from intimacy to commitment, where you like fall in love with a friend, maybe, you know, like there was never like a spark, like, oh my god, like we need to get together now, but it's like having grown together in that intimacy of bondedness and being there for each other, you could ultimately get to commitment. The last theory is Rice's wheel theory of love. Ira Ross is an American sociologist, and her main focus in her study and in her theories are on how social impacts influence our sexual attitudes and behaviors, and how people kind of respond to that, how people react to that, like the societal pressures. And according to Ira Ross, there's 4 stages of love. The first is rapport. It rests on mutual trust and respect. Second is self-revelation, sharing intimate information. Third is mutual dependency, developing interdependence. Fourth is personal need fulfillment, developing emotional exchange and support. I think it does make sense for me where rapport rests on mutual trust and respect. You start liking someone and you realize, I think I can trust this person to go out on another date, maybe, you know. I can trust this person to text this person every day or to receive their call. Self-revelation is like the next step where I can be like, I can trust this person to talk about the things I go through in life. I go beyond like the surface level. Mutual dependency, developing interdependence, like maybe like at a level of dating where it's like, hey, can you pick up my dog from X, Y, and Z this weekend because I have a meeting this weekend? Next would be for personality need fulfillment, developing an emotional exchange and support. And if you are having a rough day or like something bad happened, you can trust that person to be there for you, to listen to you, and be your emotional support. So yeah, I think this is definitely a theory that I could agree with. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed my video on 5 psychological theories of love. I didn't know there were so many theories of love because I never put in the time to do the research, but now that I think about it, it makes sense because love is an enigma, right? It's so hard to put it into a box, figure it out, how to do it, like what does it look like, what does it sound like. I hope you were able to learn a thing or two from this video. I hope it was interesting. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe as well. I make mental health videos once a week and I've been trying to do like 2 videos weekly. I was pretty good for a while, but with my job being really crazy, it's been hard to commit. I apologize for that. Check out my channel if you want to see what kind of videos I do make, and subscribe if you like what you see. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!